Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about a lawsuit that has been filed by 20 state attorneys general. As usual, the Democratic attorneys general, even though the interests that they are trying to support and enforce ought to go across the board to different states. This is about the allegedly improper, and it certainly is improper based on norms, and it seems to me laws that have existed for generations dictating really secure treatment of personal medical information. So this is about the Medicaid program that has for 70 years or so an absolute kind of hallmark achievement of the New Deal, provided medical assistance to vulnerable populations, paid for both by states and the federal government. And in order to administer it, of course, you need all kinds of medical information about the eligible plaintiffs. And the federal government has information that has been shared with state governments, but has also been shared with Department of Health and Human Services, but they themselves are completely not just bound legally, but culturally completely bathed in the idea that you cannot, this is serious stuff. I think many of us have been in hospitals or things have come up involving HIPAA or have to file and sign forms up to here. And it's really an illustration of how seriously the federal government and the actors within the federal government and the whole medical bureaucracy take their jobs. Here comes the Trump administration, and in last month, with no warning, somebody in the government gave the order for the HHS folks who have all this private Medicaid information to just give it over to, you can probably guess, the Department of Homeland Security, so they can use it to try to ferret out people who are here unlawfully, part of the complete maniacal, bottomless campaign to put above everything else the signature effort of Trump and the administration to deport, and deport some more. Now, besides the unfairness of this, just think about the sense of violation of strangers, not to mention strangers who probably want to do you harm, having this information. It has, there's really was findings when these privacy points were established in law that you got to do it this way. Otherwise, people won't come and get medical treatment. And you just don't want that to happen. Medicaid, it's true, is often the payer of last resort, including for emergency services. The feds and states provide money. It happens a lot. In a perfect world, everyone might have health care and nobody would abuse it. But the treatment of last resort for many is emergency services. And the findings are robust that if you didn't have confidence that your information was kept private, you wouldn't avail yourself of those lawful medical services, and you can just stop and think about the concatenation of bad results that would go down the line. So anyway, not thinking about it, not going to Congress, which passed the Medical Act just by fiat and nasty fiat. An order is given and all this information is just, boom, turned over. And the context, as the complaint says, the explanation here is you're wanting a searchable database of Americans' information for several purposes. Immigration enforcement is just one. That's cold comfort at best that they want to use it for many things. This is all, by the way, we thought that the prominence of Doge had gone away with Elon Musk going away, but no, this is Doge, this sort of jerry-rigged new who the hell are they agency agency that has apparently, a lot of Musk loyalists were left behind. They're still making trouble, and they're the ones who apparently fashioned the order that told HHS, of course, under Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he'll do whatever Trump says, to send along this information. It's a big operation. There's a technology company that's been hired and made it a searchable database, and there's just no doubt that they're able to breach the information about private medical information, and not just in a casual way, and not in order to treat people, which is the only reason you're supposed to have it around, but rather to determine eligibility to be in this country. So besides being unlawful, it seems like a pretty good example of the arrogance and the general way this administration has proceeded. This is really kind of what's on the line with the Nationwide Injunction Act, which is that even though Congress passed the Medicaid Act, Congress passed the HIPAA and limitations on privacy, it's simply by fiat of this, are they an agency even? And who the hell are they? Doge, that has resulted in this massive breach. And of course, by the nature of data breaches, once it's done, you normally can't unscramble the egg. So you have all this information that now has gone out to the Department of Homeland Security, potentially to use to try to deport people and to comb through and the like. And it looks as there are remedies you can do, but what you really want to do is keep it from happening. And of course, in order to do that, you want the administration to act lawfully, and what that means is that they wouldn't have just awakened one Tuesday and in June, and Doge tells the HHS to give all this information over to the Department of Homeland Security. So it seems a sort of rank injustice, and another example in some kind of sane world, even one in which and most people occupy this world, you want to be firm in your enforcement of immigration laws, the subordination of everything else. For example, the privacy value of medical information. It just wouldn't happen, much less initiative after initiative that really is premised on lies, as this one seems to be premised on, to the extent they've made it clear at all, a widespread instance of immigration fraud that just doesn't seem to be happening at all. But it's just this, crazy, out of control first, second, third, fourth, and fifth policy priority of the administration, and things are getting they are a bull in a china shop, and the private information under Medicaid is the latest China, now broken and pieces and shards of glass on the ground. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.